Hello, my name is Acidical Portal, and welcome to my Arithmetic series. This is a pre-algebra course that I will be explaining the basic fundamentals of modern math and working up to more complex subjects later on in other extended series. My content is for anyone and will always be free to learn from, whether you are any type of student or someone who just likes learning. Math is incredibly important to science, programming, economics, analysis, or even being a farmer just knowing how many potatoes you have. Math is important for many other professions as well, too many to list. I understand that not everyone enjoys math because of its complicated nature and hard concepts to grasp, but I am here to break the barrier and simplify these concepts as much as possible. I myself did not like school, and I had many challenges in math, so I have that personal experience. We must start with the basics. If you're an adult, I would imagine that you have some level of understanding when it comes to adding, subtracting, division, and multiplication, whether it be counting money or using a calculator or creating a budget, taxes, etc. However, if we are to reintroduce ourselves to these concepts, I guarantee with even the most basic math, there are still concepts you haven't learned yet. So let's start with the most complex question with a simple answer. What is math? To put it in my own definition, math is an area of knowledge that deals with pure logic, as math is precise and can be infinitely accurate. Answers are either right or they are wrong. For example, I'm sure we all know 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. But have you ever asked yourself, why is 1 equal to 2? Well, that in itself can have many answers, but to put it in simply, you have any amount of something, such as 1, and another amount of something, which is also 1, and you combine them together to equal 2. You can do this with any positive number. The reality that me and you live in can be accurately represented by mathematics, in its most simple yet most infinitely complicated forms. You can count anything, subtract anything, add anything, and so on. For example, the number of tiles on your bathroom floor, or how many keys you have on your keyboard, or how many strands of hair are on your head. The first two examples are much more durable, and while the third example is a bit less easy, it still has an answer, even if we cannot know its exact level of precision. We know that pi is equal to 3.14, but not everyone knows that pi is equal to 3.14592653, and so on. In fact, we know that pi has infinitely many digits, just like how the real world, in a sense, everything is finite, but can be measured, calculated, and applied in infinitely many ways. So in a sense, the math you use is incredibly important because it is literally everywhere and describes everything. Let's go back to the question of, what is math? Like I said, I had given my own definition of what the meaning of math is, but notice how anyone could give their own subjective definition of what the subject is. It is such a broad but simple concept because it deals with its own absolutism, but in the real world, there is no such absolutism. In real life, things are complicated. Our perception of the world is complicated, and sometimes things have no exact answer. Like a very famous question, what is the meaning of life? To begin with, in this series, for the next several episodes, I will be explaining, then demonstrating math problems in addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. These are the most basic forms of modern Western math, but being able to use them is still incredibly valuable, as it is necessary for living in our modern societies. It is completely up to you whether you watch this series or not. However, I believe in you, and I think you have the ability to learn anything you want in life. If you enjoy my content, I'm always coming out with new stuff. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below. I always respond shortly soon after. If you like what I do in general, feel free to subscribe. Now let's move on to our first lesson.